Hello, welcome to Level Up Your Day with Nay. I wanted to share today some stuff around anxiety because it seems like a lot of people at some point in their life come to a place where they notice themselves going through periods of anxiety or suffering with and from anxiety. And I know that it's definitely been something that has hindered me in the past. And I actually made a YouTube video about anxiety a few years ago. It's still on my YouTube channel, so you can go and have a little look, have a little listen and watch that video about how I overcame my anxiety. And, you know, we know that anxiety is fear-based. It comes from a fear. And it generally comes from focusing on stuff that you don't want. Well, that's all well and good to know, but not many people realise that a lot of the time, unconsciously, through no fault of our own, and not because we're trying to, and not because we're stupid or anything like that, but the way humans are programmed and the way that kind of we've been raised in society and as a culture is to focus on the things that we don't want. And we can be doing that even when we're not consciously aware that that's exactly what it is that we're doing. So for me, when anxiety showed up again quite recently, and it was in a different way, I was like, whoa, I thought I'd dealt with this before. I know a lot about mindset. I know a lot about shifting energy. You know, I know about focusing on what you do want rather than focusing on what you don't want. So this time when anxiety showed up for me, it was very much in a physical way. So, you know, it was this tightness in my chest and across my chest and my back, and it was really scary. It was a very physical anxiety, and there would be waves where it really kind of like took over, and it felt like it was like controlling me rather than me having any control over this intense feeling of fear. And, you know, our minds are so strongly connected to our body. There's such a strong mind-body connection. And, you know, it's one of the reasons that we're launching the 30-day mind and body program at the beginning of May. Because when you try and focus on just your mind and when you try and focus on just your body, you're only going to get so far unless you have this realisation and this understanding that they are completely connected together. So it was showing up as this very tight feeling within my body. It was quite scary. It was chest area, so obviously tightness in the chest. People start thinking straight away about heart attacks or maybe blood clots or goodness knows. When you are in a state of fear and you're in a state of anxiety, sometimes a lot of rational thinking can fly straight out the window. So we know that when anxiety shows up, it's because we're focusing on something that we don't want, and we're maybe trying to control things that we don't have any control over whatsoever. And for me, when it last showed up, it was about fear of the unknown, fear of, like, you know, making a big investment in something new, and this being a desire and something that I really wanted to do. And then second guessing myself, second guessing my own ability to be okay, second guessing the nature of what's going on around me. So environment is very important for all of us in a lot of different ways. And environment can be your body, so how you feel with inside your body and your mind. And environment can also be like the things that you're looking at, the things you're listening to, the things that you're watching, the things that you're reading. And I know there's like this massive thing where people don't watch the news because it's negative energy. And like, I don't ever want to make anything bad or wrong in my life. Like, I don't believe that we have to believe that there's like the news is bad, you must stay away from it, you shouldn't watch it, because there's loads of good things to come out of the news as well. And like, it's a platform where, you know, I do think that we're all connected, and it's important to like have an awareness about what's going on. So maybe not feeding into that bad news and what's going on, but having an awareness. And I know for me at the time when anxiety was showing up, I was definitely tuning into the news more and really sitting in fear, again, unconsciously, about what maybe is going on in the world. So it's not that I want to make the news the bad guy and you should never read a newspaper and you should never watch the news or, you know, flick through it on your phone. It's just that sometimes when we're maybe in more of a state of fear, it can maybe be helpful to limit the time that we're doing things that ordinarily maybe wouldn't be a problem for us. There's not like one rule, never watch the news or you must watch the news. It's just what's right for you at the moment. If you're experiencing anxiety and you are having a lot of negativity or you're looking at a lot of negative stuff unconsciously, you know, is that impacting what's going on for you at a deeper level? And, you know, whenever anything in our life, anything at all shows up that we're not happy with, we are always at the centre of that, okay? We've always caused that in some way. Now, that doesn't mean that we need to feel guilty or we need to be blamed. Cause and effect is something that I teach to my clients. I teach it on all of my courses. There's going to be loads of it in the Mind Body course that starts at the beginning of May. So it's understanding that when you take responsibility for everything that happens in your life, actually you're very empowered, okay? Because if you aren't the cause of everything that happens in your life, then it means you've got no control over things. So when anxiety shows up for me, I like to work across all of the planes to figure out where I've created this problem. So there's the physical plane, the mental plane, the emotional plane, and the spiritual plane. And I like to do work across all of those planes to heal whatever it is or clear whatever it is that's causing the anxiety. So one of the first things that I look at is my environment. So what am I watching? What am I listening to? What am I scrolling through in my social media? Is it helpful at the moment? Not is it wrong? Is it helpful to me at the moment? The other thing that I always do straight away is I plug and tune into at a deeper level. What am I feeding my actual physical body? I know alcohol can be a big one for people when they're experiencing anxiety. Caffeine, you know, I've felt very weak and very drained with the last bout of anxiety that I had. So upping my iron levels, knowing that taking vitamin C with iron helps your body utilise that iron. Again, this mind-body connection that is so strong. So although I know that the anxiety comes from the mind, I also know that there's things that I can do on the physical plane with my body, with my exercise to help that. Now, I went and saw my amazing acupuncture cupping lady to help me because I was very tight, like it hurt to move. Another reason that I'm very much getting into yoga at the moment, because yoga is all about moving energy around your body and you know, letting go and releasing any tightness. The tightness is always going to be created in the mind in some way, and it shows up in our body. And I work out loads as well. I lift weights all the time, so that has an impact. So went and saw my lady, had my acupuncture, had my cupping, and what she noticed was across this point here you have different acupressure points. I might be getting this a little bit wrong because like I'm not an acupuncture specialist. And as she was like moving these points and helping to release trapped energy there, she just said it was completely tight. You know, when I put my head back, even the skin around my neck was really, really tight. So again, it's having this understanding that although it's been created here, there's things we can do to help loosen any tightness and shift the negative energy or the unhelpful energy or the fearful energy that we're storing in our bodies. So the other thing that happens to me when I get anxiety as well is like I can take it as an indication that I'm probably on the edge of another breakthrough in my life. If I'm sitting in a bit of fear and a bit of anxiety, or a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety, I know that I'm moving beyond my comfort zone, and growth only happens beyond your comfort zone. You're never going to grow unless you expand out of what you're used to. So I can I'm not over the moon about this, by the way, but I can use it as an indicator to know that I'm growing, to know that I'm leveling up, to know that I'm stepping into that next bit of the version of me that it is that I'm wanting to become. So even when I'm really not feeling great with anxiety and, you know, maybe I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to do anything, I can have some gratitude for this shadow part of me that's showing up, because healing blocks, moving forward, the first thing we need to do is become aware of where it is we want to go, and become aware of what's maybe stopping us from getting there at the moment. So I also practice gratitude for the anxiety, for the situation, for the growth that's coming in, and also shifting some of that focus and some of that energy back onto like what's really going great in my life at the moment. Not only what am I grateful for in other people and in my life, but what am I grateful for about myself. Okay, so this I look at my environment, what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, who I'm spending time with, what I'm scrolling through on social media. I look at my body as an environment. You know, am I feeding myself the best things that I can be feeding myself? Do I need to have my vitamins looked at? I went and had blood tests done. You know, I had a conversation with the doctor. I cover all areas. Like, I'm a physical human being, and I'm not afraid to go and look at what might not be working across all areas. And obviously we want to check these things out and make sure something else isn't going on. I think it's important that even if you're experiencing anxiety, you have a system by where you get to tune in with yourself and really get a grip and a handle on what do you think is going on, like what's the next step for you. I teach a process to my private clients and in all of my courses again, and this process can be used for manifestation. And when we're manifesting is basically just creating our lives, okay? Like it's basically a word for that, and we're all manifesting all of the time. What we want to do is do it intentionally. So maybe if there's something that I'm wanting to create at the moment, a lot of the time stuff has to be cleared out first. You know, the old beliefs and the old way of doing things aren't going to get me to the next level of what it is that I'm wanting to create. So I go and do the process that I teach. And this process isn't a secret process. It's not a difficult process. It's a process that many people teach and many spiritual leaders teach. The cat's clawing me, ow. And I go back and I do my process. You know, I look at what's coming up for me. I tune in with myself. Know thyself. The most important relationship you ever have is the relationship that you have with yourself. So I go and do, because there's one thing knowing it, and there's one thing teaching it, and there's one thing showing up and telling other people how to do it and knowing it here. Are you living it? Are you actually doing it yourself? Are you using this process to help you grow and to help you change and to help you move forward? You know, where in your life do you know what you should be doing and you're just not actually applying it to your own life? So I can have gratitude for these periods of time, and I say that reluctantly because I'm not wanting to manifest more of it in, but I can have gratitude in that moment because I know that it's a sign that I'm changing, that I'm ready to deal with this. And whenever we get clear about our intentions and what we want next, that's when the limiting beliefs bubble up and they get louder than they are normally and comfortably. So I step into gratitude and I use affirmations to support that process. And, you know, the affirmations get a lot of bad press because, like, if you're saying affirmations maybe in a negative way, so I want to lose weight, you're just affirming the fact that you want to lose weight. So it's not a correct use of affirmations. It's actually quite hindering because you're focusing on losing weight, not the positive side of what it is that you want to have, be or do. So knowing what I know about affirmations and mindset and shifting energy, I can then create an I am affirmation that's positive, that helps support me whilst I'm going through this period of growth. So I hope that that's helpful to people. anxiety was definitely something that I thought I'd like mastered. Tick, done, can coach on that, can talk about that, never going to happen to me again, until it did, and it showed up worse than before, and it was an opportunity for growth. So it's knowing yourself, knowing that there may be work to be done across all of the planes of existence, and really being like heart-led as to what's going on for you, and knowing that you can have some form of gratitude for what you're going through, because it's probably an indication that you are growing, that you are leveling up, and an indication that there's stuff that you're focusing on unconsciously or consciously that aren't being helpful to you at the moment. Another thing actually that I'm going to share that really helped me as well was CBD oil, and that really helped me. Again, it's a band-aid. It didn't get to the root of what was going on for me. And even when I'd got to the root of what was going on for me using my process, there was still more stuff that I had to do. There was a period where just the realisation of what was causing the anxiety wasn't enough. It then actually becomes part of my daily practice to keep shifting that again and again and again. But CBD oil massively helped me and helped take the edge off it. And what was really crazy, and you know, we only ever get what we are an energetic match for, show up in our life. It's energy, it's frequency, it's the law of attraction, it's what I teach, it's what I love to teach on. So many people in my life, like close people, or just randomly would like tell me that they weren't great at the moment, that they were going through anxiety at that time as well. So my other belief is sometimes, especially when we're very empathic, that we can be open to other energies that are going on collectively on the planet. Wars, viruses, you know, whatever that is collectively on the planet. We can be tuning into other and adding to as well other energies that aren't necessarily just our own, because no man is an island. We're all connected. So, you know, it's not me blaming anybody else and saying, oh, I was anxious because of everybody else's negative energy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I was on a vibrational frequency for that, and so it was showing up with other people and in other situations. But the great thing is about that, you know, you ask other people what they're doing to help them, and you share with them what you're doing to help you. And, you know, we can protect our energy. If you're someone that's working on yourself and you're working on personal development, you're working on your mind, you're working on your body, you're working on your soul, you're working on your business, you're working on your money blocks, you're working on your relationships, whatever it is, then you're going to want to be protecting your own energy as you go through those processes. And protecting your energy can be as simple as imagining yourself, simple but really powerful. Okay, don't mistake simple to mean less than or not effective, or simple and extremely powerful. Imagining yourself in a golden ball of light, and all that's allowed in is love and light. You're protecting your energy. You can zip yourself up, just some form of like barrier where you are not on an emotional, spiritual, mental level, or even on the physical level, taking in energy that you may be playing a part in but ultimately isn't yours. So yeah, I hope that that's helpful. Let's draw a card, as I love to, on Level Up Your Day with Naomi. And if you're someone that likes to journal or you're wanting some guidance, then this card is going to be for you. If you're sat with anxiety at the moment, if you're going through a period of time where it all seems too much. Oops. I'm tossing this because every week this card comes up and I'm just not having it. I'm taking it out the back. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm not listening to the messages that are coming through. Right, what we got? I bring peace with me wherever I go. What a lovely affirmation. Peace is something that we can experience. And if you are into energy and it's funny really, because peace is the exact opposite of anxiety. So if you are someone who suffers from anxiety from time to time, or you're experiencing it in your life at the moment, I really do believe this is an affirmation for you. I bring peace with me wherever I go. Good. Right, I will see you next Thursday. I say 1:30, I'm early today. So lunchtime on a Thursday, level up your day with Nay. Any questions, please do let me know, and I will see you all again soon.